Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day, and today I'm thrilled to bring you another draft of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I actually have been really enjoying the Pick 2 draft format for this set. I do think it's a set that pretty clearly shows that it was designed for Pick 2. So I'm just going to jump into another Pick 2 draft. If you don't know the cards yet, don't worry, I'm getting more familiar with them. But I am definitely not at the point where I can just look at a pack and instantly know what I want, so we will definitely be reading a good number of cards. This card I know is no good for limited. 7 mana, and it has a symmetrical bounce effect. It bounces everything, and then everyone draws 7 cards. Symmetrical effects like this in limited are typically not good. You should steer away from them unless you have a powerful way to make them hurt your opponent more than they hurt you. Dawn and Leo problem solvers. I immediately know I want to try out this cool hybrid rare. It's a 4/6 vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, exile an artifact you control and a creature you control, and then bring them back. What's interesting is this is actually not in an archetype that is supported, I don't think, right? I don't think blue-white is one of the archetypes in this format. Red-blue is the artifacts archetype, so maybe you're usually putting this in a red-blue deck, or maybe this is our first opportunity to color outside the boundaries. But flickering artifacts and creatures sounds amazing. And so, for example, flickering Donatello with this out, you get to exile an artifact and a creature and bring them back. What if I just take Donatello? I don't know that I want that to be my first pick. This would be another good one to flicker, this guy who makes a food. But yeah, why don't I just take Donatello in this thing and we'll try to do some artifact flickering shenanigans. That sounds pretty good. So because this is hybrid, you could play it in a purely blue deck, a deck that just has access to blue mana. It doesn't have to be blue-white. Oh, heck yeah. When it deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of an artifact you control. All right, I can already tell if this lane is open, we're going to get up to some shenanigans. Now, I do have to emphasize, if the lane is open, you cannot just petulantly pick a color and stick with it in Pick 2 draft. It is a disaster in Pick 2 draft if someone else is in the same lane as you. So you have to be mega attentive to signals. I really want to play Lessons from Life. I want to see how good this card is. Signposts Uncommon in green-blue. I typically love, I'm just a sucker for green-blue value decks. Also, these guys are literally playing Magic the Gathering in the card art. Are you kidding me? The self-reference is out of control. Okay, at the beginning of combat, make a 2/2 and it gains haste. I kind of ran out of time. I'm just going to take Lessons for Life. I mean, maybe the actual pick here is just take the Manhole Missile. Cheap instant speed removal that gives you card selection in a supported color pair. That's probably where I was supposed to be. But if I can get some experience playing with a color combination that I haven't played with yet, I'm inclined to do that. Okay, I actually don't mind the Primordial Pachyderm. It gives me vibes of like Loxodon Eavesdropper in MKM was a way overperformer. That card did give you a card back, but I will say these green overstated cards have tended to be really good. So I'm going to do something I'm thinking maybe you're supposed to do in Pick 2 is kind of speculate, like spend a pick solidifying and a pick speculating and see which one pays off for you more. Because again, you must be in a lane that is open. And look at what we're getting here. Artifact, artifact, payoff, artifact, artifact, and red removal. So clearly artifacts is an open lane. We could take this reach card, but I'm going to say the neutrinos and Lessons for Life are speculations, but probably these cards. Now, I also don't think this card is very good, so I might go for the Mouser Foundry and Donatello here. I love the idea of flickering Donatello. That seems pretty busted. Make Your Move, I think, belongs at this point in the pack. I saw a lot of people playing this on day one. This is a reprint, and it is typically not a good card in Best of 1 online. At least historically, it has not performed well in Best of 1. So I'm going to take the cheap. This is essentially a 2-drop, kind of an understated 2-drop. And Nobody is pretty good. By the way, I thought you have to return an artifact in order to scry. You don't. This is just a 3/2 that scries, worst case scenario. Manhole Missile, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it does not belong at this point in the pack. So I think that card should have been picked earlier. Retro Mutilation. I'm famous for my dislike of this kind of card. Any so-called removal spell that leaves a piece of cardboard behind for your opponent after you're supposedly removing something, usually that's not good. This one is the least offensive of that type that I've seen because it actually makes the thing unable to attack as well as losing all abilities. It's just the closest that we've seen among this style of card to cards that actually are straight up removal. Okay, Turtle Van. I think Paul Cheon was just talking about how good this card is. When this vehicle attacks, yeah, I think he was really high on this card. When this vehicle attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature that crewed it. Then if that creature is a mutant, ninja, or turtle, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, so this goes in the +1/+1 counter deck, not the artifacts deck, and I do think the artifacts deck was more open, but I wonder if I can do like a +1/+1-ish version of the artifacts deck, or I could speculate on green, blue being open. I don't know. Getting that last pick Manhole Missile makes me think I'm supposed to really just tunnel in on blue, red. But this card doesn't need to be in a +1/+1 synergies deck. Actually, it just needs ninjas and turtles and stuff, because even if it has 0 +1/+1 counters on it and you put a +1 on it and double that, that's already so good. The thing is, vehicles are usually notoriously not very good in limited. However, crew 1 actually is very doable. We learned this in Ether Drift, I think. You know, vehicles had been performing very badly, but crew 1 is very doable. I'm not sure that I should have taken the Mouser that early. This kind of card should basically be free. Really, I'm just trying to cut that lane. This card is absolutely busted. A 6/6 that when it enters, you exchange control of 2 creatures. This is an enters trigger. You don't have to attack with it. Meaning I play this card and immediately I can give you the 1/1 from my Mouser Foundry in exchange for your, I don't know, Dawn and Leo, right? Some really, really powerful card. Here, again, I'm just trying to say, hey, the 3 other people at my draft table, they have been passing me good blue-red stuff. They passed me Manhole Missile almost last pick. So I'm going to cut the blue-red land just to not give anyone any ideas about suddenly jumping into blue-red. There is someone in this lane. Remember, in pick 2, there are 5 archetypes in the set and 4 people at the draft table. So not only will 1 archetype be open, actually more than 1 archetype is open. Only 3 archetypes are being claimed by the other people at your table if all is going well. So I'm probably going, so you just have to identify what's open. At a draft table of 8 people, that's not the situation. 5 archetypes will be taken, and then 3 people have to figure out, you know, what to do. So there's going to be a big messy middle. I'll probably take the Sewer Valence Cam just to get a little bit more artifact stuff going on. Not a good card. Not totally sure that I played that moment correctly, but here I'll absolutely take the blue-red artifact. This is essentially a Signpost uncommon. It's a gold uncommon because it has a red ability that you really want to be able to activate, but a 4/4 for 5 that bounces a creature is just good rate. Big creatures that have this Mana War style effect, the boomerang attached to a creature's body, those tend to be really good. This one's also synergistic and has another payoff on top of that. So that strikes me as probably just a very good card. I'll happily take another Donatello. I mean, look at this. With Dawn and Leo, plus I was pretty sure I had another way of taking advantage of that card's effects. Can I copy it with something? No, create a token that's a copy of an artifact. Okay. Oh, I ended up with a Frog Butler. I'm not used to the number of decisions that you have to make in this type of format. Okay, I'm actually going to, I don't know what to think of Mind Transfer Protocol. It's a blowout. If it could be good because it replaces itself, but it still costs 3 mana, and if you play it into open mana and they remove the target before it resolves, that is an absolute blowout against you. So typically it's not good. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like playable, but it's typically not good. However, Tenderize I think is probably good. Instant Speed Bite Spell in this set seems like it probably lines up pretty well. So I'm going to bet on that one being probably a bit weird that it's in the pack this late. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how it plays out in the set. Look at the top 8 cards of your library. Put 2 creatures with mana value 6 or less onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of your library. Total mana value 6. So this is a good card, right? You're almost never going to whiff. And you're trading up on mana. You pay 5 mana for 6 mana's worth of creatures, or if you're sneaking 4 mana for 6 mana's worth of creatures. So that's a good card. But I kind of just want to zoom in on artifacts. Like, having a really honed artifact deck is just going to be a way to win for me. So, I mean, I guess I could take Mutant Town as my other card, just in case I want to splash one of my good green cards. But how likely is that to happen? Well, what am I giving up? I don't really want Donatello number 4. Mouser Foundry number 2 is okay. Omni Cheese Pizza. I think I'll just take the dual land. I mean, what are the odds that I really want a third Mouser Foundry? You know, not that high. So here I'm happily going to take Baxter. This is a good card. 3/3 plus a 1/1, and immediately you play this first main phase. Immediately, as soon as you pass to combat, this guy is buffing one of your artifacts by a lot. So it actually goes really well with Master Foundry. Pretty sickening with Buzzbots. Just make a 4/1 Buzzbot in the air. It's pretty cool. Here, there is a combat trick. I actually think having a combat trick could be reasonable for me. It could be reasonable, but maybe I'm more inclined. I really don't want the Sewer Valence Cam, and I don't think Rock Soldiers is any good. Dimensional Exile, by the way, I had to read this card like 4 times. I guess I'll just take the combat trick. I had to read this card so many times because it is so good. That card seems so good to me. Just a 2-mana exile effect in white. Did someone move into artifacts? This is concerning. Like now we have a black-green card and we have a really good black card. And this is pick 3. So hopefully the person to my left is black. That's the only way that this makes sense. This card I love. Discard a card. It becomes a color of your choice, but then you could immediately get back an extra card for having lots of different colors of stuff. Yeah, I'll take that, and I'm gonna play it. It sounds fun. Okay, good. So I did actually successfully bully everybody else out of blue-red. This card, it has first strike during your turn, and when it attacks, you can discard a card and draw a card. Okay, so it's okay. It can attack into like a 1/1 because it does have first strike during your turn. But I guess I'll go with the artifact card. This type of card is not usually good. We saw Rowdy Snowballers in the set before last, Avatar, which was the same thing, but it wasn't synergistic. It didn't have a synergistic type. Actually did, it was an ally. So yeah, basically like functionally the same exact card, and it was not very good. Okay, maybe I should have taken the Punk Frogs to increase my Mondo Gecko count, but that seems like going a little bit too deep, a little bit too early. So this was a little bit chaotic, and a last pick Tainted Treats, but remember, okay, Tainted Treats is incredible. Destroy target artifact or creature, and you often get a food back. I mean, this is like, I don't know, Vindicate plus territory. This is a really, really good card. The only thing about it is, there are 4 people and 5 archetypes. So you're gonna see the Signpost uncommon last pick if everything is going well. If people are sorting into one of the simple 2-color archetypes, that's very normal stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put in everything that I might play, and then I'll try cleaning it up. All in all, just quick reaction before I do build my deck. I think this draft went pretty well. I mean, I got several of the Signpost uncommons. It was very chaotic. So what I'm going to be looking for is things like, did I support some of my more powerful cards? Kitsune, Don and Leo, Donatello Gadget Master, and even maybe Mondo Gecko and Turtle Van, the creature types on Turtle Van, for example. Did I get there on supporting those cards? And do I have enough fat that I can trim to be left with a really high average quality deck? Let's find out. All right, I think I'm going to go with a little something like this. I did end up with maybe a few clunkers. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I play 1 Mouser and 1 Uchom Scientist, although I might reverse that just purely for curve purposes. In the end, I do think I got there on Turtle Van. About half of my creatures or more are mutants, ninjas, or turtles, although a bunch of them are all 3. I actually think maybe instead of Rock Soldiers, I'll play another Donatello. This card, I don't think it's so amazing, but it's pretty sweet with Don and Leo, for example. And my removal's pretty good. I mean, I have double Manhole Missile, Retro Mutation, and then I think I got a pretty good luck of the draw in terms of opening relevant cards in my color pair. Metalhead, Baxter Stockman. Mondo Gecko supported okay, but I think it makes my clunkers a little bit better because it basically conditionally gives you a way of pilfering cards. That's more or less what this does. And really happy with the Master Foundries. I actually wish that I had taken that other one when I had the opportunity over Mutant Town, because it gives you 2 artifacts, and it's really good with Kitsune. So that's something, and it's pretty good, I guess, with like flickering or copying artifacts. So I actually kind of wish that I had taken more of those. So that's definitely a lesson for me here. And then I'm playing Sewer Valence Cam over the Omni Cheese Pizza just because this one comes down 1 turn sooner. So we'll see how this goes. I will say I'm definitely enjoying this set enough that I'm planning to do some runs of the Arena Direct Win-A-Box event, which is next weekend. That is not this upcoming weekend, but the one after. And during the week, I'll do some sealed runs so that I can feel prepared for the Arena Direct. So if you also want to win a box, I'm going to make sure that those sealed runs are useful for helping you figure out what's actually good and what's actually going on in the format. So do go ahead and click subscribe and follow along as I try to prepare to get a box of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cards. All right, I'll definitely keep this. I can copy my Sewer Valence Cam for whatever that's worth. I think I don't play it turn 1. I think I'd rather play the tap land probably, because the main effect of the Sewer Valence Cam is to tap a creature, and it's unlikely that that matters at the end of their turn 1. Is it just me, or did the volume suddenly get really loud on the game? Try turning that down a little bit. I didn't change any settings, so I don't know what caused that, if it did. Okay, so you played a other ninjas you control get +1/+1 card. So I can do something kind of funny here. Is this worth it? Essentially, I play the Sewer Valence Cam tapping their ninja, attack with Donatello, sneak my 1/1 out, which kills the 1/1, but then I get to blink my Mouser Foundry. This is so complicated. Yeah, getting another Mouser Foundry sounds really good, and having a 3/2 in play. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this, tap that guy, attack with this, sneak this in, blowing up my 1/1, deal damage to them, copy my Mouser Foundry, and now I get another 1/1. That was so funny. But now I do have another way of blowing up the Mouser Foundry, right? I have another Mouser Foundry that can be sacrificed to deal damage. Okay, what do you do again? Something really good, right? Oh, okay. So it didn't matter, though. Okay, so what I want to do is attack with Donatello. They will block it with Karai, and then I'm just going to Manhole Missile Splinter, right? And if they don't block, I'm extra happy, because then I just get an extra trigger. So in with this guy. I'm sacrificing Donatello here. And you don't have first strike or anything, right? No, you don't. Now, the only downside of this plan is that they... maybe I throw back Baxter Stockman. The main downside is that they're representing that they probably have another Karai. I kind of really do want to land, and I really want to play Kitsune and Donatello next turn. So yeah, maybe I just put Baxter Stockman back. Okay, I guess I'm glad that I did that because he is legendary. So we just got a 2-for-2. I think it was worth it. I don't really think that my Donatello was getting through again, so... Wow, I mean, this is really unlucky. This is really unlucky. That's a lot of cards to see for none of them to be a land, and 4 mana is exactly what unlocks me. This doesn't have haste or anything. Well, might as well attack. I don't think I want to hold this back and crew defensively. But yeah, this is very unlucky. We had a lot of chances to get a land. Yeah, this card is absolutely bonkers. It closely resembles the best uncommon in the format MKM. Another non-land. Another non-land. There is a counter for this mana, by the way. Yeah, maybe just bounce the Mouser Foundry. Sure. I don't hate it. At least that's something I could play next turn. Okay, that's what I want. Yes, thank you. All right, and then... Oh, I can crew that with the 1/1 because it left the battlefield. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about it creating a 1/1 on exit. And then I will go ahead and put a +1/+1 counter on this. Yeah, and I wouldn't have gotten any bonus from crewing it with nobody instead. I swear, this card is going to make... is going to cause so many problems in competitive Magic when someone's like, I attack with nobody. And then their opponent's like, oh, technically you just skipped your attack step. I don't think that is how it works, for the record. Just for the record. Don't call a judge on that advice. All right, still no lands, but that's okay. I mean, we're kind of going off now, right? And Donatello is going to get 2 counters on it from this. There's no flash that I'm going to play around. There is, in this mana, there's a board wipe, but they did not play it last turn, right? There's a 6 mana Mythic in Golgari. But also, like, I would want to play Donatello anyways. There is also a flash creature that got me one time in a draft that glitched out and I didn't record, where you flash it in. It's like a black rare, I think. You flash it in and it destroys 3 creatures. Okay, Turtles in Time. Oh, hey, maybe I'm just wrong about Turtles in Time. Do I want to shuffle my hand and graveyard into my library? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, yeah, so I just get an extra card, right? All right, we'll test out my card evaluation skills here. I strongly think you should not play Turtles in Time, okay? I strongly think you should not play Turtles in Time. So we'll see if it was amazing against me. At the beginning of your end step, exile an artifact you control and a creature you control and bring them back. So basically, I can play this, crack in with the Turtle Van, and then I can flicker Mouser Foundry, the token, which would just explode. So I don't actually get any advantage out of playing that card. The other option is play this Mouser Foundry and the Mouser Mark II, activate Turtle Fan and attack, but I get way less value. I mean, I don't get the counters from the Turtle Fan specifically. But then I do have a robot that I can trade with Kitsune next turn. So actually, I am going to go with that one. I'm going to go with that one. Just feels a little bit more safe. Like I'm spreading out the damage a little bit more. The value that I'm missing out on is not that big a deal. This guy wouldn't have gotten counters. So spread out the counters a little bit, and it gives him one less opportunity to kill Dawn and Leo. Part of the problem with that card, the same problem with all these wheel effects, but especially if it costs 7 mana, your opponent gets to use their 7 cards sooner than you do. Putrid Pals. Your opponent gets to use their 7 cards first, right? Oh, maybe I should have put the counter on the bigger one because my plan is to give them the smaller one. Didn't think about that. But I can use the 1/1 to crew Turtle Van and then switch the tapped 1/1 for one of their creatures, right? Now that's thinking. Okay, so what I want to do is play a land no matter what, because I could also shoot one of their creatures with Mouser Foundry and just not even reveal Kitsune. Honestly, that feels better. Both of their creatures are summoning sick anyways, so it's not like I get an extra attack this way. So yeah, what if I just sack the Mouser Foundry to pick off Putrid Pals? Okay, I actually have a lethal attack. Sorry, I don't know why that took me so long. I did work all day today, so I'm not operating on like my highest brain capacity ever. I have a lethal attack. Okay, there we go. We figured it out. We figured it out. It took me long enough, but we figured it out. All right. That felt, you know, smooth as butter, honestly. My deck just performed exactly how I would hope. I'm definitely having fun in this format, for sure. Oh, I should also say, you know, in one of my most recent videos, I mentioned that Premier Draft glitched out on me. So a card like zigzagged all around the screen, and then by the time the timer went down, a different card ended up in my pool. That's part of why I'm playing Pick 2, because it felt like maybe Premier Draft is a little bit unstable at the moment. But I do want to say, credit where it's due, Wizards did agree to give me a 10,000 gold credit because of that issue. So thank you, Wizards of the Coast. Appreciate that. It was good customer service. So just wanted to give that update because I didn't want to complain about the glitch without mentioning that they did actually make it right in the end. Okay. I think this is a pretty good hand. I'm likely to lead with Buzzbots. It is a little bit awkward with Donatello if I'm sneaking the Buzzbots out, right? Oh, that's kind of nice. I will definitely play the purple Dragon Punks. Now, here's something I learned about purple Dragon Punks. Spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or to activate an ability. In previous cards like this, and based on just reading it quickly, you might think this only activates abilities of artifacts. But no, look closely. You can spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or to activate an ability. This is very different from the like Brothers War things that they had, like the meteors or whatever, which you could only spend on artifact spells or artifact abilities. This thing can be used to activate sneak. That's super relevant, right? Okay, so I'm gonna tap the punks and this to play a Buzzbots. And then do I just rip off my Manhole Missile, or do I just play a Mouser Foundry here? I might go with Mouser Foundry and then save the Missile for next turn. I'm most likely, I don't like need to not be hit with this random Flying Ace. I don't think this card's good, by the way. Understated, 2/3 with an expensive ability. 2/3 for 3 flying is a tough stat line. And the ability is really expensive. It might be playable in like sealed when you're just looking for win conditions, but you should basically view this as like, it only wins when you have like 7 mana. Okay, I will probably just block their token. I mean, look, they're in the sneak colors, but if they have a sneak card, I can't outblock them. Okay, you know what? I actually talked myself in circles and made a blunder. I was supposed to block the Ninja Cavalry because that's the one that I don't want them to sneak, because it makes a 1/1 on entry. My bad. I was thinking that, and then for some reason, I decided that that was a good reason to click on the other one. So, my bad. Okay, can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. By the way, this card has way overperformed my expectations, way overperformed. It's just always worth a card, as far as I can tell. It is just always worth a card. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with Buzzbots, and then go to blockers, and then I'm going to shoot in Donatello. And then I don't think I do anything else. I kind of do want to play the Manhole Missile this turn, I think. So I'll copy Master Foundry. Donatello is so good. So now I get a 1/1 blocker. I mean, do I want to play that, or do I just play Buzzbots and then I can use Manhole Missile or Baxter to try to push damage from Donatello potentially? Return a creature you control to your hand. I'm not afraid of that right now. They also do seem to be stuck on 4 lands, which is pretty relevant. So for example, next turn, I can start shooting anything on their board with Master Foundry if I want to. And spoiler alert, I maybe do want to. Maybe that's better than just backstoring it up. Although having a 4/4 4/1 Buzzbots with First Strike sounds pretty good as well. First Strike and Vigilance. Yeah, that sounds pretty good as well. This card is nutty. I think this card is unreal. Yeah, this card is so good. This kind of jailer effect is usually good. I mean, really, this is more of a flicker effect, to be honest. Okay, well, I'll certainly just block Orokusaki. So the only thing about that, though, is I can copy Buzzbots next turn. So actually, maybe I do just block the Dragon Punks. I don't really need the extra mana for anything. So let's block like that. Yeah, this card is so good. Okay. So I'll go ahead and play this. Honestly, I kind of want to just shoot Koya, because I don't want Donatello to get blocked by Koya, right? And I really do want to capitalize on my mana advantage. So I kind of want to shoot Koya with the Mouser Foundry. Make a 1/1. Attack with both. This guy's Vigilance. And then I get to copy Buzzbots. That's pretty awesome. And then Buzzbots can double block the prehistoric pet. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Donatello is so good. And then I have a Manhole Missile to just keep pushing Donatello attacks. I can make a whole Buzzbot army. That's my style of Magic. That is my style of Magic. 32 Buzzbots on the board. Heck yeah. Okay, so the opponent went for April O'Neil to do some scrying. It makes sense. They're trying to get lands, right? Because they've been stuck on lands for a long, implausible time. A lot of mana screw going around in this event. Okay, so a Manhole Missile is an instant. It is an instant. I also have a Mouser Foundry up. So I have a few different options. One line is play Baxter Stockman, put +4 on one of the Buzzbots, and just go in for 4 essentially free damage. That sounds pretty good. The other option is I play the other option is like attack with Donatello. I probably would have to shoot April O'Neil first or something, or the High Flying Ace first. I'm trying to see if I can get them to line up a double block, but it actually doesn't make sense because they have 2 different creatures that could block my guy. The other option is just try to get lucky, play Donatello, try to draw a land, but I don't think I have any reason to do that. I'm just going to go for Baxter. I don't think I'm about to get board wiped or anything, so I think I have a little bit of time to just press this advantage. And yeah, I'll just go in for 4. I just have such a massive mana advantage. Now they have a huge problem. They have to kill Baxter Stockman. And even if they do, my Mouser Foundry killing their High Flying Ace puts them on a 4-turn clock. Just from the pure Buzzbot action. I like the Buzzbots. It's understated, but you know, it's a mighty little guy. That is a mighty little guy. So they did hit their 4th land. All right, another High Flying Ace. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So why don't I open with Donatello? No, because I would like the ability to pop a Mouser Foundry. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put +4 on the Buzzbots in with this guy. It has first strike, so you can't double block. You cannot double block, my friend. Okay, well, I have a face-up Mouser Foundry. I don't know. Maybe there's a 1 black trick. I don't know the tricks in this set yet. I'm not at the level where I'm like playing around the tricks that they could have. So straight up, very honest about that. There is a discard 2 effect in black, so I'm actually just going to keep this back. There is a discard 2 effect, so I'd like to be able to discard this land if they make me. The only board wipe that I know about costs green. I don't know yet of a board wipe in white and black. I really should look through the card file. Before the Arena Direct prep, I will look through the card file. Okay. And make sure that I know all of the important cards. Okay. So, play this, draw a card, play a land. This guy is legendary, by the way. There's a lot of legendaries in this set. So, I think I could... So, the way to push more damage would be Manhole Missile the Exterminator and going for 5 in the air. I actually think I'm just going to do that. I think it's time to send some removal in. So shoot that guy. Yeah, in for 5 in the air. Is it actually a lethal attack? Yeah, I think I would have gotten there. I would have realized it becomes a lethal attack. Very nice. Because you can force 5 damage in the air and they can't block. I have 5 attackers. 3 of them have 1 power and they have 2 blockers. So they're dead on board. All right, this, by the way, is an amazing thing about Pick 2 Draft. I spent 900 gems to get into this draft. I've just won 2 games, and I've already basically got my entry back. I have 800 gems sitting on the table, and here it's all gravy. In my 3 Pick 2 drafts of this format, I've trophied all 3 times. So that's a 1,200 gem profit from 3 hours of drafting. That's pretty sweet. That almost gets you an entire Premier draft for free. Of course, your mileage may vary. Like, at a certain point, you hit a rank where you're not trophying anymore every time, of course. So, you know, don't blame me if you don't have the same exact experience, but I do think it's a much, much less punishing reward schedule than playing Premier Draft is, and especially Traditional Draft, which is even more punishing. So I could play this to make my Mouser playable, make my Mouser able to attack, but the thing is, why do I care about my Mouser attacking, you know? So I'm going to play Buzzbots. It does technically unlock Donatello, technically, if what I want is to copy a Surveillance Cam with Donatello. But I don't think I want to. I think I want to use Surveillance Cam to get subsequent Donatello attacks through. So this turn, I think I'm going to go for Mouser Mark II. So what we could do is Surveillance Cam, tapping this guy, attack, play Donatello and sneak it in, and then copy the Surveillance Cam. Really does not do much for me. So I'll go in with Buzzbots, play a Mouser Mark II, hold up the Surveillance Cam. That's the game plan. And then the idea is maybe I can tap something down. Yeah, I should probably be playing the second Mouser, eh? I'm just not even... 2-3 for 2 is not that impressive. I remember back in the day, what, like Mercadian Masks or something? They printed a 2-3 Rebel for 2. And I was like, are you kidding me? A 2-3 for 2? You get an extra stat above Grizzly Bears? I was like, that's the best card ever. I put a play set of them in a deck. Seriously. I think it was a vanilla 2-3 for 2 Rebel. Yep. And I thought that was like the best card I'd ever seen. That's how old I am. Okay. I'm going to... Could play Donatello. Copying Mouser? Is that good? Well, the question is which Donatello to play. So one option is attack with Buzzbots, put Donatello in, copy the Mouser. I guess I technically could attack with both and put it to them to block the Mouser if they want to. I'm sure they would. They would read Sneak, probably. I don't really want to bounce my Mouser. Well, I can bounce the Mouser to Donatello and then recast it, because next turn I'm going to play Baxter, and then I'm going to give a bunch of extra stats to my Buzzbots. Tough decision. Do I want to bounce my Buzzbots and recast it? No. Let's just go in with Buzzbots and play the other Donatello, I think. I wish I'd gotten the pizza that deals damage. You know, some like higher impact artifacts to copy. Not really sure what I'm going to do about this Raphael. When it attacks, you get to exile something. And am I even going to block it? Yeah, I'll block it with Donatello plus Buzzbots, right? Okay, they can tap down my Donatello. Fair enough. And then you can put a +1 on Raphael if you want to. But how afraid am I of their damage? Not that afraid, right? You do get value out of this. That's the issue. It's not damage, it's value. Oh, yeah. And then you get to attack me again. So I'm going down to 10. That's pretty cracked. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. Oh, no, it's when it attacks. It's when it attacks, not just every turn. Okay, that makes my life a little bit better. So do I want to play Donatello or Baxter Stockman? So they tapped this with their surveillance cam, so I don't need to worry about that happening again. Next turn, I could easily double block Raphael with a bunch of different stuff. I still really want to be able to get through something other than the Buzzbots. It kind of sucks to be bouncing the card that I really want to copy. But actually, I would like to draw an artifact that's even better than Buzzbots. But next turn, I could do something like crack the surveillance cam, tapping Raphael, or play Donatello, copying surveillance cam, and then crack the surveillance cam. Because now I guess I am at the point where cracking surveillance cam is good, right? I actually am at the point where copying surveillance cam, is good because I can crack it. So maybe that's what I want to do. Copies of surveillance cam is better than copies of Buzzbots. It's just more card advantage. It's not even card advantage at this point. I'm chasing card parity, let's be honest. My opponent has card advantage locked down. We're just talking about card fairly keeping up. They don't get to exile again. Okay, well, I don't know what they could have, but I'm just going to quadruple block. It does mean that I cannot do my combos with Baxter Stockman and Donatello, but I cannot be getting attacked for 1,000 damage every turn, right? And I do at least get compensated with a card. Okay, Metalhead is a nice one, right? I can bounce Raph and Leo. It is unfortunate that Baxter Stockman got turned off for a turn, but I mean, we have plenty of artifacts. I don't think that's a huge issue. Okay, so I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are going to demonstrate why these huge Mana War creatures are really good. I think I do want to bounce Raph and Leo over killing the token. I think it's really good to ask them to just spend a turn recasting this. And then I can sacrifice Surveillance Cam on their turn if I want to, but I just don't think I want to. And I should not attack with anything because... Oh, wait, it does give it haste. Oh, haste is pretty good. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to get aggro with it. Yep, that makes sense. I actually didn't even notice that it gives it haste. So I'll do this. I'm going to tap down, probably tap the Slithering Cryptid and ask them to just make pure chumps. Yeah, because otherwise they can team up on Baxter Stockman. So that's definitely the play. Put a counter and in with 3. All right, so we're just getting aggro with it. See how this goes. I don't think Mondo Gecko is actually good. I'll need to be proven that it's good, but I'm Unlimited Splash. If I'm not playing Mondo Gecko, nobody is. If Mondo Gecko has 1 fan, I'm that fan. If Mondo Gecko has no fans, then I have perished from YouTube. All right. I do like when people mix and match lanes from different sets. Like this person clearly just has like preferences about, hey, I like this art and I like for mountains and I like this art for islands. That's cool. It's a cool expression of personality when people do that. All right. Yeah, I don't know if the aggro plan was the best. Like I did give up 2 cards for that. So maybe that was just not a good move. But this guy is so hard to block. Even when he doesn't have Menace. Yep. In with Metalhead. Vigilance is so amazing. It becomes a color of your choice and gains hexproof from that color. So there's a reason to hold back cards. because this can protect Mondo Gecko. But yeah, I'm definitely noticing I'm lacking ways of just pushing damage over the top, right? That's a big issue for me. Baxter Stockman is helping, but they can just chump block forever, apparently. We're learning they can just chump block forever. I don't know, so maybe I didn't play this quite right. Maybe the Surveillance Cam should have been higher on my priorities list. Okay, that's kind of a nice one. Play a Master Foundry. It's just really hard to deal combat damage to the opponent here. Yeah, so I think I'll just... One thing is, I could sack the Master Foundry to Metalhead just to turbo dealing damage, but that would basically be, instead of killing a 1-1, or instead of killing the 3-3, I only get to kill a 1-1. That does not sound good. So let's go ahead and shoot that guy. Let's see, so this has 8 power. Yeah, it's still really hard. They could block with everything, but then I'm feeling really good, right? If they quintuple block my Metalhead, then I'm feeling really good. And now I have things to sack to make Metalhead have menace. I can sack these 1-1s. I can also, if they manage to kill Metalhead, I can start buffing the 1-1s. And they have to block Metalhead. Northwind Avatar, that is a very, very, very good card. 5/5 flying draw card for 5. Yeah. You do need to have, the way I haven't gotten to play this card, the way I believe this works from the way previous cards have worked in limited, like wish cards, is you get cards from your sideboard. So you do, if you have this card, you do need to have some playable cards in your sideboard that are not like, that are actually going to be good to draw. I think that's how it works. Okay. Just going to go in with Metalhead again, right? Now, do I give it Menace? That sounds good. What happens if they block with everything? I would first strike the Avatar and 2 creatures, and then they can't kill it. Yeah, so I'm just going to give it Menace. I think that works. So if I attack with Metalhead, if I target the Metalhead and attack with it, yeah, this doesn't actually push extra damage. So I'm going to do one more turn of this. I really want to start attacking with everything soon. They could like double block. If I attack with everything, they could double block Metalhead. Northwind Avatar blocks Baxter. And then double block this guy. They only end up taking 3. I do draw some cards from Mondo Gecko, but they might even have better attacks than whatever I just saw. By the way, after they block, I could still give it an extra +1/+1 counter from sacking another artifact. So that's a good card, Metalhead. Do wish I had a way of giving it trample, but... All right, I'm almost like, do I just play Donatello? But I don't think so. I could, oh, if I could actually get, maybe I was supposed to attack with everything, because if I could get another attacker in, I could flash in Donatello, copy Metalhead, and bounce one of their creatures, but that's after damage. No way. No way. Gain control of artifacts your opponents control until end of turn. Until end of turn. Untap them and they gain haste. No way. Okay, but it's only until end of turn. Don't play this card, by the way. Terrible card. It's not illustrating the point perfectly that they might be about to beat me with it, but that is a terrible Magic card. So the question is, do I just sack the 1/1? Probably. I don't know if I'm really thinking... No, actually... It's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage coming in, roughly. They don't have another red to sack my own 1/1, so yeah, I think I can resolve this. Wait, that's an artifact? Oh no, sorry. I thought they grabbed Donatello somehow. That's not what happened. Okay. Yeah, this is not a good card. Okay, now do they actually kill me? Because they do get a second untap. They do get a second combat phase here. You untap those two. Okay, it resolves. I will go to blockers. I guess this can block there, chump block and block, something like that. Yeah, so the chump block is wrong. I should chump block there and block there. Yeah, that's correct. It'll be better for Mondo Gecko to be dealing the damage. Okay, unfortunately, Baxter Stockman is going to have to block Metalhead, isn't it? Or no, Mondo Gecko is. Definitely it's Mondo Gecko that is going to have to chump the Metalhead. So, pass to blockers. Block with Mondo Gecko. Yeah. Okay. I win, right? Yeah. So that's why you don't play that card. Most of the time, Broadcast Takeover is going to just be stuck in your hand. Even when that was like the best it's ever going to be. With a second combat phase and a 6-power flyer in the air and gaining control of 2 different permanents. And it takes red, red, red to cost. So it takes red, red, red to cost. It's a sorcery. It takes your whole turn. And it requires your opponent to have a bunch of artifacts. And it requires you to be in a board position where your opponent is way ahead but hasn't killed you yet. And way ahead enough that you can kill them with 1 crack in. And that was the best case scenario, pretty much. And they also had a creature where they were going to get a whole second attack phase after that. And it still didn't kill me. It still didn't kill me. Like, you're never going to get to play that card. They finally got to play it in a good board position, and it still didn't do the thing it's supposed to do. So that's a nice little lesson, a little learning for people. Don't play that card. Your win rate will go up if you leave that card out of your deck. Go ahead and just drop the Buzz Spots before the Master Foundry. I'd rather have a 1/1 Flying Vigilance earlier than a 1/1 not Flying not Vigilance. And it's not like I'm going to be popping this anytime soon. So, Action News Crew. I'm not a believer in this card. I could be proven wrong, but from what I've seen, the impact of this card is a little bit too low. I will say, though, you know, 2/2 for 2 with a little bit of extra stuff in white. I'm not going to be returning that. You know, it could be worse. So here, Mondo Gecko is a good blocker, but I just want lands. More than anything else, I just want lands. Oh, I already did my attack. I was like, why can't I attack with Buzzbots? I already did my attack. Okay, I'm actually going to straight up trade because this thing is just going to have Vigilance forever. It blanks my 3/2. That's why 3/2 is not such a good stat line. It just blanks my 3/2. Oh my goodness. My trouble with mana today has been disappointing. Let's just put it that way. It has been disappointing. I guess I'll play the creature. I mean, I had one opponent who got mana screwed, and then I got mana screwed twice. So, whatever. We're still winning. I don't know if we're winning this game, but I'm 3-0, so I can't complain too much. Metalhead is so good. I'm even higher on this card than I was already. A huge chunky mana war that is a synergistic card with an extra ability. That is a good Magic card. Holy moly. Do I just sacrifice Buzzbots to draw a card? Yeah, definitely. It's time to just draw out of this issue. I'll cycle Buzzbots off of the board to just get another chance of having a card. There we go. All right, that bootstraps me. Now I get to play Donatello and then hopefully find another land into Baxter Stockman, and now we're off to the races. And then I have Kitsune to trade Stockman's 1/1 for something. You can kill Donatello. I accept. I accept. Not the best target for spicy oatmeal pizza. You might want to save that for like a Metalhead or something. Escape Tunnel. Okay. Yeah, no regrets about sacrificing my Buzzbots. I'm going to go ahead and play Stockman because next turn I want to play the Kitsune. Trade my 1/1 for some whatever they play for 4 mana or even 5 mana, whatever they play when they get unstuck. Give my Master a big buff. Baxter Stockman's sweet. Yeah. Really good card. The opponent's like, that does what? like that has what abilities? Yeah, I'm with you. This is a good card. So High Flying Ace, you know, I totally respect just build a Boros deck with a good curve. They're playing tons of 2-drops and tons of 3-drops. My take is you don't get to do the channel ability on this basically ever. And a 2/2 for 2 Vigilance is not getting an edge in this set with full of cards like Baxter Stockman and Mouser Mark IIs that just shut it down. But again, having a lot of 2-drops in a Boros deck is a way of winning games by default. So I'm not saying it's like atrocious or anything, but I'm not looking to take a bunch of Action News Crews. High Flying Ace, I think this card's just bad. I think we'll find as the format goes on, this card is just bad. 2/3 for 3 flying. The edge case is if you really are looking for ways of pushing damage in the long run, but I think you should start out looking to not play this card. That's just my take. Watch it be the best common in the set. No, I think you should look to not play this card. Okay, when it enters draw 3, then at the beginning, discard 3 at random. Oh man. Oh man. Next upkeep. Oh man. They had so much fun with the designs in the set. look, I'm not a universes beyond whatever lover, but seriously, there are some sweet designs in this format. I love that card. That's super fun. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play my Kitsune. I'm going to take Casey Jones and give them a 1/1. Am I thinking clearly? Should I do that after combat? If I do it before combat, I get Casey Jones, but I don't get to attack with it. They have an extra 1/1, so I don't even get to attack with Baxter because they could just triple block it. So I should do that after combat. Okay, that's what we have learned. The other thing I could do is bounce Casey Jones. No, I think I'm going to go attack with just the Mouser. There's no way that they're blocking. I mean, yeah, they could single block, but I mean, like, they don't have any, like, fancy block that gets them out of my plans. I don't know the format well enough to feel super comfortable doing this, but I think it just works. I'm just going to give them a 1/1 in exchange for Casey Jones. And then they have to discard 3. It doesn't matter who controls this, by the way. Yeah, discard 3 at random. So the way that this card is good, Uneasy Alliance. Okay, yeah. The way that this card is good is if you can empty your hand, right? You need this to be a very late play where you spit out a bunch of cards one after another, and that's not usually going to happen. So now I have a totally sickening play, which is I can just bounce the Kitsune when they're tapped down and can't exile it. I need to not bounce Casey Jones or they get it back because it goes to the owner's hand. So I'm going to go ahead and buff my Mouser and crack in with Casey Jones. Oh, I don't have another artifact. Oh, man. I should have... nope, blunder. Total blunder on my part. Total blunder on my part. I just forgot that I lost my other artifact. What was it? What did I even lose? Okay. I will repeat. This is the end of a work day for me, so I'm definitely not playing at my best. I should obviously have played the Metalhead first. Bounce the Kitsune. So that was a blunder. But, you know, it's early in the format. We're just getting used to what all these cards do. So that's on me. That's a blunder. The other blunder to keep in mind is when I blocked the token, I said, hey, they could always sneak their Ninja Cavalry back, so I'd better block the token. Exactly reverse logic. They can always sneak their Ninja Cavalry back, so you should block the non-token. Because that's when you don't want them to sneak and recast getting an extra 1/1. But okay, this deck worked awesome. Loved the artifacts build. Getting another neat little gem profit on a pick 2 draft. Before we wrap it up, I do just want to say Kitsune was as amazing as I expected it would be. Dawn and Leo, this one was hard. I only got it once and it was really hard to get it off, actually. Metalhead was an amazing overperformer. Let's just put this in like not great or below expectations on the left of the lands, above expectations on the right of the lands. So that's how I'll organize this. Dawn and Leo, I'm not saying it was like below expectations, but the one, or that I know that it was worse than I think it is, but the one time that I saw it, I was less happy to have it than I thought. I was looking at it like, well, I don't really have anything to blink here. So maybe I just didn't build around it well. Baxter Stockman, this card was nutty. When I saw this the first time, I thought it was good, but not like amazing. Now I think this card is amazing. They did a good job of pushing the signpost uncommon. And I will also say Randy Gallegos, I met him, super nice guy. The artist of this card, yeah, really nice guy. Okay, Donatello, I was really happy to have this one. I didn't know if I wanted to play 4 of these. It just worked well. Turtle Van was amazing. Paul Chion is right. This card is absolutely bonkers. Nobody, a little bit lower on this one. It just trades down with the 2-drop. Mondo Gecko, I already thought it wouldn't be very good. I just shouldn't have been playing this. Like, or maybe it's fine, but it's like very Winmore. Maybe if you have a lot of interaction, like 3 Metalheads, 3 Manhole Missiles, a bunch of Sewer Valence Cams, then you could play Mondo Gecko to just push damage and just keep getting a bunch of stuff. But I think this draft made me think you really need support for it. Didn't get to play Retro Mutation, didn't get to play the Scientists. Donatello was awesome, even better than I expected it would be. It gave me so much optionality, even though there was that one game where I didn't want to play it. Mouser was really good and really well supported. I also thought the punks were even better than I thought. Overall, the deck was just all in all better than I thought. Literally, I thought my whole deck was like pretty mediocre, or most of my cards are mediocre with a few good points. I would say all these cards are actually movers up for me. As weird as it sounds, maybe Purple Dragon Punks is where I expected it to be. But all these cards just functioned better than I expected. So, all right, we are going to be ramping up to learning how to win a box in the Arena Direct Win a Box Challenge next weekend. That is the weekend after the upcoming one. If you want to stick along for that ride, go ahead and click subscribe and make sure to check out the sealed videos that are coming your way over the course of the next week. And until then, have tons of fun playing Magic, everyone, and don't be afraid to splash.